Morning, and we're live. Let's pull up the stream here. You gonna squeeze me? Good morning, everybody. I'm just gonna pull up the stream here real quick so I can make sure I can read the comments and everything. Mary Jane's gonna make sure I can't swallow my coffee. Let's see. This always takes forever. Who's with us this morning? I can't even see the comments yet, so give me just a minute. Let me figure out how we do this. Gosh. This is always great. Like every week, I need to get on this because every week I get in here and I start the live stream, and then I got to figure out where to go find it and how to watch it so I can see the comments. I just one of these days. Let's see. I don't know if I can go live from my channel. I mean, see my live stream. So, it's been an exciting week this week. I'm going to update everybody here in just a minute. All right. There it is. It always takes a minute to pull it up on the page so I can see what I'm doing. There it is. It always takes a minute to pull it up on the page. All right. Okay, now I can see who's here. Candy's Critters and Red Sonja. Good morning, ladies. How you doing? Hope everybody is having a great week. I have Mary Jane with me this week, and she is not really happy about it. She is really, really moving around and being really curious. And she's just exploring. I think I'm going to have to put her down and let her free roam. So, if you notice, we're outside this week. And the reason for that is because I'm in between housing. Yeah, so we had to move out of our old place because our lease was up, but our new house wasn't quite ready yet. So we're kind of in between. And I've been moving for the past 4 or 5 days. And let me tell you, moving, what did we move, 24 enclosures altogether? Not an easy task. Not an easy task. And I didn't have a gang of people to help me. It was like literally me and my 15-year-old. You know, my wife came by and was and helped when she could, but she had to work. So it was literally like me and him moving all these enclosures. And let me tell you guys, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. But he did a great job. He stuck with it, so. He stuck with it, and he did a great job. And I'm really proud of him, so. All right, so this week, let me say again, I've got some more people coming in here. She's kind of big. She's kind of big. She's not full grown yet. But let me reintroduce her. This is Mary Jane. And she's Spiderball Python. She's been featured on the channel quite a bit. She's getting her own reputation for being the sweetheart that she is. And she's 3.5 years old. And she's a retired breeder. The guy that had her before me bred her, I guess. She didn't look big enough to breed when I got her. But I guess he bred her, and so I brought her home, took her off the breeding chain, and now she's the sweetest little pet ever. So, this week, what are we drinking this week, guys? What are we drinking? Oh, I'm drinking another gourmet blend, like my first one, and this is a cinnamon roll, cinnamon and raisins. So it tastes pretty good. It's a light roast, so I put like a whole pot of grains you know, to make it dark because I love black dark coffee. And can you look? Can you just okay? This is what they do. You're just okay. So it's a really light roast, and I like really black coffee. So I put a whole like a half a pot of bean in this before I did the pour over, and it's great. It's great. I don't know how it would taste if you just made like a cup of coffee with it. I'm not into these flavors like that. This like that carrot cake I tried. I told you guys about a couple live streams ago. Horrible. It was like more. It was like Highlander grog, but not. That's what it tastes like a cheap Highlander grog. So, anyways, let's see what you guys are talking about here in the comments. No sleep last night. No sleep. Sound like me. Literally, I got, I think, 7 hours of sleep in like 3 days, and yeah, I just got caught up last night. I finally got a full 8 hours last night, so I hope you get full 8 hours a night, Candy. John, yeah, she's kind of a big snake. She's kind of a big snake, but I mean, she is just so sweet, so sweet, and I can't say enough good things about her, man. She's awesome. She's totally awesome. Oh yeah, Snake is definitely a friend, Brandy. Welcome, welcome everybody, welcome. Snake is definitely a friend. She is probably her and her and Dorothy probably got the sweetest dispositions out of all my snakes, and I love hanging out with them both. I just put a short up. I had Dorothy out after I got all the enclosures set up in the place that we're staying here for a couple weeks while our house gets ready, and I just put a short up. I had her out. I had Dorothy out, and she's so curious and she's so funny. She was crawling all over me, and then I just said, "Well, I'll put her on my shoulder and let her, check it out there." Baby snakes are a little harder to have on your shoulders. So then she goes around. She comes around the other side of my face, and she's tongue flicking all over my eyes and everything. And then she comes back around. And she starts climbing up my ear. She climbed up my ear and got on my head and just sat there. She must have sat there for 25 minutes. And I just sat there like this, watching TV, making sure she didn't fall. But yeah, they're like these two are just probably the sweetest snakes I have. They're all sweet, but some are just a little sweeter than others. Let's see. Plain vanilla Folgers. Bleh. I mean, I like Folgers. And nothing like a good old cup of black coffee. Don't get me wrong. I go get these beans, for our live stream that I do every week, just because I want to feature something different and, kind of gives me something else to talk about. And, but, throughout the week, I'll drink black silk, and usually when I get up, I'll just throw a cup in the Keurig, and then after that, if I want another cup, that's when I'll do my pour over during the week. Plain vanilla Folgers, kind of counterintuitive. I'm not sure counterintuitive. Yeah, kind of. Are you talking about me moving? Because that kind of came up. That was a disaster. I planned and planned and planned for this. I planned and planned, and we found a house, and then something wasn't legit. Something was weird about it, so I couldn't go that route. So at the last moment, I had to switch gears and kind of, what are you doing? What you get? You're being weird. Stop it. You're gonna embarrass us. Okay. Anyways, at the last moment, I was able to kind of put something together, but I have to wait for it. So the house is being finished. She's being such a distraction this week. What are you doing? So yeah, it is. It's kind of rough, but I'm in a good place. My snakes are safe. Um, I didn't have the room for all my enclosures. Hey, so here's something cool. I live in Michigan, right? Cannabis is legal here. Everybody grows it. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people grow it. And so what people do is they go out and they buy these grow tents that don't work very well apparently, and then you find them all over Marketplace. So what I did, because I couldn't fit all my big enclosures, is I went and got a grow tent from a guy on Marketplace for like 40 bucks, and I went and bought some under the bed totes, filled those with Repta chip, lined them with Repta chip, put some hides in them, and that's where Mary Jane's staying now. She's in a. I'll take a picture and put it on our post or on our page or something like that, so you guys can kind of see what I did. But I just took a couple of the heat lamps, stuck them in there with the thermostat, sprayed their chips down. So it's her, Gorgeous George, and Marie are all in this grow tent, man. And it's working. It's holding the humidity great. The heat's great. Like, it's great. I don't, you know, snake breeders should probably look into that, dude. It's pretty cool, especially like small breeding outfits. I'm gonna have to let you go walk in a minute because I can't concentrate. She's out of sorts because the environment is different. Yeah, they're a little nervous, but everybody was up looking for food last night, and I didn't expect that. I thought after the move and going through moving all the enclosures and everything that they would probably refuse a meal for a couple days, but when I came in last night real late, it was about midnight, and I was kind of checking on everybody, and there's probably a dozen of them out wandering around looking for food. So that was good. Come here, you're getting stuck because it's sweaty out. Here. But yeah, they're all ready for food, so I'm gonna get them fed today. See who all takes a meal and who refuses a meal, and I'll put that up, because it's kind of interesting when you're doing stuff like that. When you're moving your snakes, people want to know how they're gonna act, and so we're gonna document that a little bit. I did document some of the move and how we were moving them, so that'll be out soon too. I don't really have a space to work on episodes here. I have to work on videos, so that's gonna be a little harder to get done here in the next week or so. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep working. Yes, so they're camping. Yep, that's what they're doing. They're camping. They're camping out. They got their own tent, Probably got a Keurig in there or something. Get the coffee going. Roasting marshmallows. That'd be funny if I had a bell. So there's a bell on Facebook named Marshmallow. That would be funny if I had a bell named Marshmallow in there. Hey, Melody. Hey, the wife joined us this morning. Good morning, beautiful. Hope your morning is going great. So glad to hear your voice this morning. Oh, baby. Yeah, she's really nervous this morning. Poor baby. I don't know if she's going to make it the whole live stream. I don't want to stress her out too much. It is very hot outside today. Here. I'm going to go. Guys, I'm going to let her. Let's keep an eye on the background. But I'm going to let her get down because it's a little cooler in the grass. And as much as we do coffee with snakes, I got to think about her. She's not. See how she's moving real quick? She's not. Swap her out. Yeah, it's a little harder to swap her out. Keeping up with the big rescue, but Lori. Yeah, so maybe that's where I got the idea, was from the big rescue. Because I think, I followed it. I think I remember Lori mentioned it. Somebody gave me the idea. But I want to say it was Bob or Lori or somebody like that. And then my friend Mark, who owns the pet store that I go to all the time, he mentioned it too. So that was a great idea. He's actually the one that said, hey man, maybe you should try this. And I thought, oh yeah, I heard of that before. So big shout out to Mark. That worked, man. Mark Grossman. That worked. I don't know if you guys will get to meet Mark soon enough, but he's the axolotl guy. Like he doesn't want me to say it. He's trying to go a whole different direction, so he's probably gonna be mad at me that I call him the axolotl guy. But from what I understand about Mark, that if it wasn't for Mark, axolotl industry wouldn't be as big as it is right now because uh, he's got a whole, like, he breeds them. And like, if you go to his house, his whole basement, he's got this elaborate setup. It's super cool. Looks like a water plant down there. And he takes the best care of them. You know, he's got his own brand of food and everything. And so, thanks for the suggestion, Mark. That's awesome. It's awesome, man. I love you. Love you, man. She wants to run free. I think she does want to run free. I really need to get my snakes a doggy playpen. Candy's saying she needs to get her snakes a doggy playpen so Mohagies and corners can play. So I didn't get a doggy playpen. It's cheaper if you just go to Walmart and get a child's pack and play. It's like 35, 40 bucks. Yeah. And then grab you some puppy pads because they're gonna poop. They're gonna poop in it. Get some puppy pads that match the size of the pack and play and just line the bottom of the pack and play. And it's super easy. Fold up, put it away. It's a cheaper alternative. So that's what I did. Them doggy, I was looking at those doggy things, man, and they're like 3 times as much for some of those. That's ridiculous. You know, we just, anytime they put pet on something, the price goes up. My thermostats that I use, and I think I posted a link. I'll try to post another link again since we're talking about it. I'll post a link in the description of this video. But the the thermostats I use don't say reptile on them at all, and they work great. They're Wi-Fi enabled, and I get them off Amazon for like 25 bucks. They're digital, they're hygrometer, thermometer. They're awesome. I got them in all my enclosures. So, and I didn't pay 150 bucks for them. You know, if you want to go that route, that's great. And there's some great systems out there. If you feel more secure having that, but being as their Wi-Fi, if anything goes wrong, comes right to my phone, and I know right away. You know, so if if something did go wrong, I'd know. So I think it's worth the money. Sounds like they're coming to take you away. Oh, is the yeah? Well, I'm in a city. So before I lived out in the country and very quiet. I could do a live stream out there, do all my do some of my studio work outside out there. But here it's a little more rough. And as much as the as much as the people here love me, they don't love snakes. So they're being generous enough to give me and my snakes a place to be. It's my family, so I'm gonna be outside. Let's see. Look at her. See, that's the spider gene we talk about. Let's talk about that for a minute. That's good, interesting, right? So if you notice that, like my other live streams when I have my other snakes, they don't do this. Look at that. They don't do that, right? They stay pretty up and level. But Mary Jane's a spider, and this is what her wobble gene has done for her. Now, the wobble gene has a lot of different effects on a lot of different snakes, right? It shows itself differently. You're just gonna get in the ball. It shows itself differently. So sometimes they'll wobble their heads, or sometimes they're really shaky, really twitchy. Sometimes they corkscrew. Sometimes they do it all. But it also affects the way that they can eat and target their food. So, but you can see, I mean, look at her. She's all knotted up. My other snakes don't do this. They stay head up. They don't curl around a whole lot. They just try to get moving and go once they're spread out. But her, like, you can't. She's got me tied up. But I mean, these spiders make such great pets, though, because especially people who aren't really experienced with ball pythons, or maybe they had a ball python and it was a different type of ball python, and maybe it didn't curl up to them the way they wanted it to, or it wrapped itself on them the way they wanted it to. People get snakes with these expectations that they're like dogs or cats or anything that would curl up to you. But you see, Mary Jane kind of does that. She stays real close to me. She stays coiled up. And she's sometimes they start to build webs. That's funny. That's funny. So let me finish that thought real quick, and then I'll go back to the chat because that's funny. Um, uh, so yeah, but spiders can, you know, they almost like it's almost like they're cuddling. Like they're not cuddling, right? Snakes don't cuddle, but it can make the owner feel that way. It's the same kind of mind trick that we were talking about the other week when we were talking about bioactives and how that can, be more rewarding for the owner, for the snake as well. But for the owner, if you have a bioactive, it keeps you engaged with your snake and its environment, and I think that's pretty cool. I think it's probably the one of the best factors of having a bioactive enclosure because it makes you spend more time with your snake. It makes you pay closer attention. You have to maintain its enclosure, so you're constantly in there. You know what I mean? And then that also gets them used to the big monkey coming in and messing around in their enclosure all the time. Oh, come here, baby. Here, let's see if you want to sit. Want to sit here for a minute? It's a little cooler right here. You're just gonna. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see if I can make this camera go down. Look at her. She's just gonna crawl off my lap here in a minute. She'll be out in the yard. There you go. She's gone. She's out of here. She wants to get down, but she doesn't like grass. So here's a funny thing. When I brought her over here, um, after the move, she wouldn't come out of her cork. Come back up here. She wouldn't come out of her cork at all. And so I had her in this big cork, and she's got herself squeezed in there, and she won't come out for nobody. So I thought, well, I'll just take her with me. I'll strap the cork into the car, and you know, she can just ride with me. She's big enough that she's not gonna get lost in the car. So I took her outside. As soon as I took her outside, I noticed her body relax. So then I took her and I set her in the grass, and she was going from one end of the cork. She'd stick her head out, and the grass would touch her. Now, mind you, they've been in enclosures, so they're not. Even though she free roams in the yard, she's still scared of grass. It's crazy. Here, let's make sure you get in trouble here. Let's make sure you don't get in trouble here, baby. Gotta keep a close eye on her. Anyways, so she'd poke her head out one side, and she'd get way out, and the grass would touch her face. She'd pull back in, she'd turn around, she'd poke out the other side. It was really cute. She did that back and forth for a good 3 or 4 minutes before I finally took the cork and put it on the sidewalk. So when she came out, the grass wouldn't hit her face. So she finally came out, and the neighbors are like standing over there. Mind you, I don't live here. I'm just staying here, so these people don't know me. They don't know my snakes. They don't know my channel. And I look up after I finally get her out, and I wrap her around my neck, and there's this guy standing there, the neighbor standing there looking at me going. So he's really interested, which was really cool. He's told me he was scared of snakes before, but he's not now. So then I let him hold her, and he got some pictures, and it was really cool. Snakes bring people together. Okay, back to this. Yeah, she just got the wobble corkscrew going. Is that a snake in your boot? Okay, I need to go back up because Alexi, I think I'm saying it right. Because you said something really funny up here. What'd you say? Okay, let's go back. Melody, yeah, Melody's cleaning out dragon enclosures this morning, which is always fun. They stink. They are messy animals. We've got 4 of them, so she's over there taking care of everybody for us. Melody, cleaning enclosures. Swap her out. I can't swap her out, Mel. That's too far away. Look, there's a kitty. This cat just came out of nowhere. Anyways, let's see. This is a snake in my boot. I know I need to pay attention to the comments more. I get to talking sometimes. It's the coffee. Gets me hyped up. Not chatter away. Probably talk about things you guys don't care about. Uh, let's see. Alexi says, you're beautiful. You hear that? She says you're beautiful. You know that, don't you? Yeah. Let's see. Sometimes they start to build. That's what it was. Sometimes they start. So that's funny. So that's why she's named Mary Jane, because Spider-Man, she's Spider. We've said this before, but a lot of my snakes are named after scientists and whatnot. But we live in Michigan. She's a spider. Mary Jane just made sense. And I think she told me she likes her name, so. Good eater, yes. Yes, she is very, very good eater. And, here's the thing is, so when we get into our new place, I'm going to work on target training with her. I know some people work with ball pythons on target training, but I want to try an experiment where we work on target training for snakes like spiders and see if it works, because she has a hard time striking her food. She can find it, she can locate it, but then when she goes to strike, her neurological disorder gets in the way sometimes and she misses, which is fine. She still eats really good. But I'm thinking maybe if I try to target train her, then she'll have a place where she can already say, this is where I need to strike, this is where the food's going to be, and she'll know it every time. That way she has no misses. So I'd like to do that experiment and figure out if that's something, maybe we can pass along more information we can add to the snake community about helping these guys strike their target correctly. Oh, look, Candy, I'm way behind here. I'm sorry. I'm so far behind. Yep. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Candy. And you were here last week or the week before. We were talking about I'm going to start target training her, and I want to get to it, but I need to get a place where she's going to be comfortable and she's going to know that this is part of her routine. And that way she knows this is a normal thing and it's not an environmental pressure, right? As it would be. So I want to make sure that she's nice and cats, it will help her. Nope, that's not Boogie Melody. Sun Snake Mistress. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, she's definitely curious. I'm sorry, baby. She didn't expect that. She's definitely curious, and she's one of my favorites. Don't tell anybody else I said that. So next week when I have Pleiades or somebody out here, don't tell them I said Mary Jane's my favorite. Yeah, I'm hoping that target training will help. I'm confident it will, but I want to document it so people, when I go to talk about it, people have something to reference. You know what I mean? So I'm going to film a lot of that training. I want them to have a place to reference. So, a lot of people say a lot of things online and put out bad information, and then it gets repeated so much that it seems like it's good information, and then you end up with people who aren't keeping their ball pythons or keeping their snakes correctly, and that can be dangerous. So, I want to be a positive impact on this community. So I want to give it some reference, No, Sonia, it doesn't get worse as they get older. Not that I've noticed. I'm not an expert on the spider gene, on the wobble of the spider gene or the neurological disorder. I just know the basics about it. I do put a lot of thought into it, but I'm not sure if it gets. I mean, I imagine it being a neurological disorder, it could, because brains grow as well. So maybe, you know, maybe it does get. But she hasn't gotten any worse. She's done all the same things that she's always done. She's just a weirdo, and that's okay because we like weirdos. She's herself. That's what I love about her. Imagine if all your snakes were the same. That would suck. Right? Where are you? She's not into it. Are you okay? You all right? Okay. Oh yeah, I hope it's a good plan because you know we want to learn as much about how these animals act and the different things. Like we were learning so much. 10 years ago we didn't have the information that we have now. It was all different, and there's a lot of different, a lot of things we weren't doing necessarily correctly. And that's not to say that anybody's trying to do harm to their snakes, right? Same thing when you get bad information online. If you get bad information, you do something that you weren't supposed to do, don't feel bad. Because we've all been there. Everybody's been there. Everybody who owns a reptile or snakes, they've been there where, you thought you were doing something correctly and turns out you weren't. So just keep trying to do your best to do what's right for your animal. Because that's the important part, right? It's these wonderful guys. You know, we're big animal lovers in our house. You guys know we have lots of snakes. We have dragons. We have cats and dog, guinea pigs, just turtles. You know, so we're big. We love animals. So we're always wanting to make sure that they're safe and they're getting the best care they can. Yeah, we're all weirdos. No, we're not. I think people who only like dogs and cats are weirdos. There, I said it. I said it. Yep. Normal is weird. Cause like, why not? These are pets. These are pets. I'll say dogs are probably my favorite animal though. Sorry. Sorry. Dogs are probably my favorite animal. Dogs, chimpanzees, and bonobos. Just because I'm a big fan of evolution. But that's one of the reasons I love snakes so much too, because of evolution. Because especially with ball pythons, you get to watch them think in real time, and not a lot of animals do that. If you change something in an enclosure, which I do quite often, I'll pull something out, put something different in, just to mess with them a little bit. But you get to watch them come out and watch their thought process. They come out, this is something new, and they just stare at it and stare at it and stare at it. And I imagine they're thinking, okay, am I going to kill you or are you going to kill me? And when they figure out it's just a plant, they just move on. But it's funny because you can watch that thought process happening. Am I safe? What's changed about my environment? This investigation is going on in their heads to figure out what has this change provided and how does it affect me and how I live. So that's really, really neat about snakes. Oh, where are we at? Where are we at? What time is it? Because I'm going to get on the water today. It's 100 degrees here. We've been in a heat wave for quite some time. And you're scaring me. I thought you were going to fall. You got it, don't you? But it's been 100 degrees here for like 3 days. I don't know where everybody else is at and what your weather's like there, but it's been hot, and we've been moving. So yesterday I had my first encounter with a heat exhaustion. So yeah, it is pretty hot here, and I work on roofs. I'm a contractor. I work in the heat. It's what I do. So yeah, everybody here, was. The creeks were full, the rivers, the beaches, the lakes, because we're kind of like Minnesota, right? We're like the land of 1,000 lakes in Michigan. Every corner you turn, there's another lake, but there was people everywhere on the water yesterday. So I'm going to go do that today. I'm going to go get in the water today. You guys, I'm still having a hard time working on that Minnesota episode because there's so much, and I think I'm gonna have to break it up somehow. And if I could show you, I'm not gonna show you. I'm sorry, baby. It's okay. It's okay. See, she's nervous. She's nervous. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you, but I think I gave Sonya a sneak peek of the intro. So, but I talked to Sonya quite a bit. she was at the Minnesota trip, and that's kind of where we met. And she's really cool. She's been a great help. She's been a great help, and she's a great supporter of the channel. Wonderful supporter of the channel. Wonderful supporter of snakes. She just got her first snakes. How are your snakes doing, Sonia? I could do 3 videos with everything we did in Minnesota. So I've got this whole thing laid out with this really cool song that I made behind all the, like, the scenic stuff that I got while I was there. And it doesn't really go with the video. And then, I don't know, you guys, it's just going to be difficult. You'll see. It's a good video. There's some funny parts in it, and I got Dave saying some funny stuff, and you know, it's going to be a great video, but it's just there's so much, and I want it to be so great. That's what it is I'm putting too much pressure, because I want it to be a great video. Because, I mean, we got Dave Kaufman and Bob Bledsoe in that episode, so, you know, and I really respect those guys, really love those guys for what they do. Can't go up my shirt, baby. I pay attention to what I'm doing, but I'm just starting. But I'm just standing there talking to them, and they totally ignore me. Yeah, they're not very. They don't care if you're standing there. They're just like, whatever. I don't know if you're talking about. I'm pretty sure he's talking about snakes. I do talk to my snakes all the time. Okay. I do talk to my snakes. I talk to them all the time. Ask Melody. I like they're my children. I do. I go to their enclosures and talk to them. I bring them out and I talk to them. I open up and make sure they're okay and talk to them. Yeah, I talk to them like they're my children. They're well, not like my children, because I don't have to yell at these guys. They wouldn't listen anyways. They're brats. All snakes are brats. Where we at here? Oh yeah. I drink. You know, I realized I hadn't drank a bunch of water. Sonia's telling me be safe in the heat. You know, because I had mentioned I almost had I had my first encounter with heat exhaustion yesterday. I think that's what was about to happen. But yeah, I hadn't been paying attention because I was so, trying to get everything moved, that I hadn't had anything to drink in like an hour or so. But I made sure I wouldn't drink a lot of water right after that. Say they're adorable and funny. This. I wish I can't. Does anybody know there's a way that I can read this? And I don't know what language it is, but I know you can see in the comments there's somebody from another country, and I really want to respond to them, but I can't. Maybe there's a way. I have to figure this out. Dave and Clint's shark videos. No, but I seen he just posted that up. Dave is always on something. Like every time you see him post something and he puts something up there, that's not it, but it's something close to it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go check it out. I haven't had a chance because I just seen the notification for it the other day, yesterday, I think. And and I've been moving, so I haven't had a chance to really catch up on everything. And I see that Bob finally got his bioactive video out that David from Hawkstrickers is in. I seen David there and Willie. David is such a great guy. He's such a nice guy. He's so helpful. He's a great guy. I wish we lived closer so we could hang out. We had a chance. No, okay, so yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to the foreign language here. Oh, look, there's 3 dots. Let's click that. Put user in timeout, remove, report, pin message, go to channel. Well, I don't want to put anybody in timeout. I don't want to add them as a moderator. I just want to be able to understand what they're asking me or what they're saying so I can respond. Be a good host. Man. This coffee is where it's at. Look, guys, I'm drinking out of a Menards cup because I'm a contractor. I don't know if you have Menards where you're at, but here's just the greatest big box contractor store ever. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, guys, here's something exciting. I put up a post on a couple of the local Michigan pages. Because we talked to the, Melody and I talked to the state herpetologist a couple weeks ago when we were up in Petoskey, herping, and he was telling me, the best place to find a lot of the species is right where I live. So perfect. But what are you doing? What are you doing? See, I talk to him all the time. We, okay. Usually you just come out and sit and chill. You're just not having it today. What was I saying? State herpetologist. Is there comments going on here that I can't see? Because what is this? Oh, jeez. I'm watching through the door window. Yes, you are. That's funny. So my kid is like watching through the door window. He's funny. Weirdos. So he's got me pulled up on his phone. He's standing in the door. They're funny. Bye, Bark. Okay. So has there been other? Because okay, so I just switched the chat settings. Apparently, I've been missing messages. Because what are you doing? I got it. There you go. There we go. That's good. All right. Because I just clicked it over and a bunch of more messages showed up. So if I missed your message before, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm not really a live streamer kind of guy, but I like to do the live streams because it's interesting for everybody. It's interesting for me and gives me an excuse to get my snakes out and drink a bunch of coffee. He is a good egg. So, let's go back because I want to know how Sonia's snakes are doing. I really want to know. Okay, we'll ignore him. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead. If he's talking about eating python meat, let's go ahead and see if we can't. Because we don't want that kind of talk on here. You know, it's the internet, and these people are going to show up. But there's no need for it. There's no need for it. See, put user in timeout. Let's give him 24 hours. Yeah, that's, I don't know why people are like that. You know, you could just, calm down, baby. You can just, you can just scroll. There's no reason for that stuff. Anyways, no energy on that. I did. I put him on timeout. I don't know. Okay, well, it says I deleted his messages. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Candy, because I didn't know what he was talking about. I certainly don't want anything like that going on my channel. You know, I understand different cultures or whatever, but, you know, if you're coming on here just to say that, we're obviously a snake-loving channel, you're just trying to, exactly, you're just trying to troll. We don't need that kind of negativity. I'm an optimistic guy. Look at her. Look at her. She's so funny. What are you doing? Yep, I used to do that on the couch when I was a kid. You guys remember like being on the couch or something and you just put your head upside down until all the blood rushed to your head when you were kids? That's what that reminds me of. Here we go, baby. That's up. Hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here we go. Yeah, Candy, I booted him. Uh, they won't let me block him, but it'll let me put him on restriction for 30 days. So hopefully that'll deter all that. You know, I know that there's got to be settings, right, that you can go in and people can't just come in and comment rude stuff. There's got to be something. Either that or just all the YouTubers that I've watched have amassed an audience that doesn't allow that to happen, I guess. I'm not sure. Pet, yep. She's a pet. And, you know, Dave was telling us a story, and Sonya, I don't know if you were there, but Dave was telling us a story, and it was him. I don't think it was Clint, but he was with somebody, and probably at, hey, you're live. You don't want to be on camera? Anyways, Dave was with somebody in Africa or something like that, or some country where there's a huge food shortage, you know, and they only eat certain times of day. I guess the markets are open where people are cooking food out on the street, but then after that, there's just no food when they close those down. So apparently they've been traveling a long time, and long story short, he ends up at this diner, one of the only things that's open to eat. They hadn't eaten in almost 48 hours or 20, a long time, and um, they tried this soup, and it was horrible soup. You know, Dave said, "Oh, it was horrible. It didn't taste good at all." And come to find out, they were eating some kind of monitor lizard, um, or some type of lizard, and I don't know. But he was extremely offended. So I mean, you know, in places of the world where there's a huge food shortage and people are starving, you know, they have alternatives. Unfortunately, it turns to something like that sometimes, but we don't have to participate in that. So, end world hunger. Save the reptiles. End world hunger. All right. Snakes are not food. It is a pretty kitty, and I don't know where it came from, and it's young. Okay, where are you going? All right. She's going under the chair, apparently. I don't know. Okay, you're on the ground. Okay, you're safe there. But yeah, that was a horrible story. I couldn't imagine, you know, being a being a reptile lover and being in those conditions where, you know, you end up consuming something out of hunger that you are out to protect. Dave's a big conservationist, so I know that hurt his feelings quite a bit. Let's not go over there, baby. Let's stay over here. I can see you. Yeah. I know it hurt his feelings quite a bit. Makes me a little hot in the face to think about being in that position, right? Like, that would just break my heart. It would break my heart. Because I love reptiles so much. They're so great. And they're so underrated. And there's so much bad information out there about them. They really get a bad rap, you know, so it just breaks my heart. All right, let's change the subject because that's going to make me all emotional. Dang, I tried to reglue the base of my iPad case and it didn't hold. Back to the drawing board. My MacBook. So I got a MacBook. I'm a big Android guy. Don't kill me. Don't kill me in the comments, okay? But I'm a big Android guy. Um, I love Samsung. I think they're great. Uh, and I don't really care for Apple products. But when I started the channel, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, baby. When I started the channel, I didn't have my computers wouldn't keep up with all the editing and stuff that I was doing because because I'm crazy at it. And so I had to go get a MacBook that's kind of built for it. So that's what we did. And now it's like, it's so weird going from a MacBook to a laptop. I'm always clicking it wrong. And I'm going to delete something someday. I just know it. Let's get it. See, close up, Mary Jane. Yeah. Yeah, so good luck with that. Mixing the MacBook. Or fixing your iPad. I'm getting used to it. You know, I do like it though because um, it keeps up with everything and it makes editing a lot easier, that's for sure. Yeah, I have to go get rats at some point today. And my pet store is closed, so I'm going to have to try to get a hold of them. Track really good. We've had this talk before. Dude, I don't remember what your stance is on it. Sonya, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember what your stance is on Android and Apple, but I am not an Apple fan, and here's why. Here's the number one thing that turned me off of Apple over a decade ago, is when smartphones. Okay, 2 decades ago, smartphones first came out. It was like you had to buy all these different things to make your iPad or your iPhone do the same thing an Android would without all the different plugs. And then they were changing their chargers all the time, and they were making people use. At that point, they were making people use the iTunes to have music on your devices. Now, I guess you can have, everybody uses Spotify, but they were kind of forcing people to do things on their brand, which is which is fine, I guess, but I think it's unfair to the consumer. When we know we've made something where we don't need all these extra things, all these different plugs and devices to make it do the same thing a regular Android phone would do. Apple's really stepped their game up since then, but that's what originally turned me off from them. So, man, I'm looking at I got the live stream up over here on my laptop, and it's just now showing me picking up. I wonder if I'm just that far behind on this. I am. There we go. Yeah, I was surprised I got a Mac too, Sonia. Hey, Candy, if the two epoxy doesn't work, and here's your contractor advice. If the two-part epoxy don't work, just ratchet strap it together. Be all right. Don't put a ratchet strap on. I'm playing. Don't put a ratchet strap on your iPad. Yeah, I did that. I fixed it. It froze on me, or I paused it or something when I was trying to block that guy. So, yeah, I fixed it. Where we at here? 53 minutes. I didn't know if I was going to make it this long this week because everything has been going on, and we're making it. I'm going to have to do a stream sometime, like once a month in the evenings, so that way I'm not set to a time standard. I don't have other things I need to do. I can just sit down and relax for the night and hang out with you guys and whoever else might show up and talk snakes. So maybe I should do that once. What do you guys? You guys let me know what you think. But it would probably be like a once a month thing. Though I sometimes I think, man, I shouldn't have said I was going to do this every week, but I'm sorry, baby. I was thinking, man, I shouldn't have said I was going to do this once a week because, life gets crazy sometimes, and I don't want to disappoint my viewers if I can't show up one week. But it's been working out, and even though this week was I kind of threw it together in like 15 minutes, I just thought, well, I'll just sit outside, I'll get a snake. I was already drinking coffee. I mean, what more is there to do? Maybe I'm just lazy. I don't know. But but it keeps me focused. It keeps me thinking about the channel and keeps me engaged with you guys. So I don't mind this. You know, once a week, an hour in the morning is great. But you know, maybe a live stream one day a month. We can do like in the evening or something like that, where I'm just sitting around relaxing and sitting in the snake room. We can pull out multiple snakes and just kind of do that with no time restraints. So let me know what you guys think, if you'd be interested in seeing something like that, if you want to be a part of something like that. Just, you know, leave me a comment. I do put announcements up. So here's the thing. I don't know. Okay, I was just thinking about that this morning. I haven't figured out how to do the announcement on the channel yet, because I know that you can go on and say, hey, you know, this channel is going to be live at this time tomorrow. Hey, this channel is going to be live in an hour or so, but I haven't figured that out yet. So, you know what I need? I need an Amy Bentley. I need a producer. I need somebody who's in the background working stuff and helping me figure stuff out. But, you know, with time, I'll figure all that stuff out. I get everything right. That's what I do. I'm an information junkie. I just keep learning and finding more things to learn about until I've mastered everything that I could possibly get on a subject. And then I find something else to master. So I'll figure this out. Amy would be awesome, but she's already helping another live stream. So, you know, and I kind of, like, I know she doesn't live in the same state. Look. This is called snake yoga. That's what this is. This is snake yoga. But I know she doesn't live in the same state as Bob. And they make it work. So, you know, I'm sure I'll find somebody that's really savvy with YouTube eventually. You know, we're just getting started, and we've got a really good start already for being such a new channel. You know, we're already over 100 subscribers. You know, we're trying to get to 500 as soon as possible. You know, but it is what it is. I don't really care. Come here. What are you doing? Okay. All right, so check it out. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna put her in the grass for just a minute because it's nice and cool. I want her to cool down a minute. So give me just a second. Just a second. You guys watch her get in the grass here. I don't know if you can hear me or not because I don't have my mics on this week, but I'm just gonna set her here in the grass. See what she does here. See what she does. Let me see if you can see. There she is. She's in that nice cool grass look. She's such a beautiful snake. I just love letting them be around in the grass and kind of do their thing. That's awesome. All right, let's go back up here. Let her kind of do her thing here. Back this way. Oh. I'm a little worried about that cat in the yard, you know. That cat's not going to do anything to Mary Jane. But Mary Jane does have a lot of things to get in trouble. She can get in trouble very quickly out here. Because this is my yard, so it's not set up for snakes. It's not set up for her to free roam a lot. And that makes me a little nervous. Makes me a little nervous having her out. Anyways. Alright, guys. I think I gotta get going. I'm gonna take my kids to go get in the water today. I'm gonna get her back in her enclosure where she's nice and comfy and not too warm, not too sweaty. Sweaty, because you sweat. I'm the sweaty one, right? I know. Here you go. But thanks everybody for joining me. It's been a good morning. I didn't think it was gonna be this savvy this morning, but it's been a pretty good episode so far. And make sure you hit the like button. And if this is your first time to the channel, you know, go hit subscribe. You know, we're just getting started. We got some pretty cool episodes up. We got a lot of neat shorts. You're not okay. We got a lot of neat shorts up. I mean, there's and we do this every week. We get out a snake, we make some coffee, and we sit and chat. And we'd love to have you join us. So hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the videos and let me know what you guys think. You know, I'm always looking in the comments to see if you guys have any suggestions, things you'd like to see, who your favorite snake is so far. You know, these types of things. Just let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate. You know, I I I, I love snakes and I love learning and I love teaching, and so yeah. If you guys got any cool ideas, let me know. Look at her belly. Look at her belly. Yeah. Okay. I know you're not a belly dancer. All right, guys. So let me get her right here. There we go. There you go. All right. So we'll see you next week. Be sure to hit the like button. And until then, stay wild, but keep your feet on the ground. Later, guys.